Hi everyone, welcome back to this beginner's class series and welcome to class number 5. We're starting the same way as before, sitting on a couple blankets, crossing the legs in the center of the shin bones in a pose called swastikasana. So as you become seated today, take your hands onto the sides of your blankets, lift the hips a little, find that you're sitting upright, that the pelvis releases down. Then tune in to the two bones that you sit on, the buttock bones. And for a moment, just bring your hands to the sides, rock a little bit forward on those bones. You'll find you'll come way forward and onto the back of your thighs. And then rock way back until you're way behind those bones and in the back of the buttock. And do that a few times so that you can start to feel where is the very top of those buttock bones. And by top, I mean where's the roundest part? There are two round bones that you sit on. And I want you to feel that you're not sitting on the frontal part of those bones, nor way back on the back part, but right at the center. For most of us, that's a little further back than where we normally sit for most. Depends on the person. But look for that place that's right at the center of that round bone. And then bring your hands down onto your thighs and work to maintain that uprightedness on the two round buttock bones. Then turn the upper arm bones out. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. And bring the palms together and close the eyes. Observe the breath moving in and out through the nose, keeping the mouth and the jaw and the tongue relaxed. Keeping that balance there, straight on top of the two buttock bones. And then join me for the sound of Om. And then release the head down. Take a moment to surrender there. Release the hands with the palms up. Bring the head up with closed eyes and then open the eyes. Okay, so come on up to standing. And as I've said previously, each of these classes is adding on little bit by little bit to the class that came before. So we're starting the same way in Tadasana. See that your heel bones bear weight so that the buttock flesh descends. Reach all 10 toes forward so that the outer foot and the inner foot both have a sense of reaching forward, all 10 toes forward, and then gently bring the mounds of the foot and the toes to the ground. Roll the shoulders back and release the shoulders down away from the ears. Be in Tadasana. Look straight forward. Then bring the palms together again. Interlock your fingers for Badanguliasana. Broaden the upper shoulder blades, but stay in your heel bones in particular. Feel how the heel bones anchoring you down steadily, evenly, keeps the flesh of the buttock descended. Then inhale, lift the arms up. Pull up out of the side body as you pin the upper arms in towards the midline. Lift and lengthen straight upward, and remember those heel bones. And then bring the arms forward and down. Change the crossing of your fingers. And once again, pin just above your elbows, right in this region, right? Really pin, squeeze in there. As you lift up out of the side body, keep the base of the neck soft, the jaw, tongue relaxed. But feel how the sides of your ribs, outer armpits, all lengthen and open. Then arms forward and down. Stand in Tadasana and recompose yourself through the breath, through those heel bones, even across the face. Let the face be soft. Now we're going to jump the legs into Utthita Hasta Padasana. If you have injuries, just step. But if you can, you jump. Feet coming under the hands. Now again, feel the heel bones, buttock descending. Feel all sides of the foot, inner foot, outer foot reaching forward so that the mounds of the foot and the toes set down evenly. Expand across the arms. Parsvahasta Padasana, you're going to turn towards your right. So left foot turns in, right leg turns out. Heel of the right arch in line with the left heel. Press the left heel down. Now we're going to take triangle pose in a few moments, but first, come back to regular Utthita Hasta Padasana. So just practice that neutral space of the foot reaching forward. Go to the second side. Glance down, see that the heel aligns with the back arch. And again, press the back arch, press the mound of your left big toe. Feel how the kneecaps lift, how the flesh of the leg firms to the bone and the legs become stable. Turn forward and then jump. Now, as I've said in previous classes, if you have bricks and you'd like a brick for under your hand, you can have that here. So if you have a couple bricks, I'm going to set them up. And you can put them on tall. And they'll just go behind your foot for Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So let's take that now, Tadasana. Inhale, jump. Turn your feet to the right. Press the left heel down. When you do that, feel how the left thigh moves back. Mound of the right big toe is down, and the sides of the body lift and lengthen again, just like they did when you took your arms overhead a moment ago. Now inhale. And now with your exhale, reach out over the right leg. Take the hand either to the shin and slide it down just above the ankle and grasp. Or you can put your hand on a brick and place it right behind your leg, just under your shoulder. Now from there, notice how the weight will tend to want to be heavy in your hand. We tend to like to lean into our arms and rest in our legs. Instead, again, press the left heel down. Feel how the buttock flows to that left heel. Press, you can even come up on your fingertips. Press onto the mound of the right big toe so this outer right hip firms beneath you. And then keep that left arm reaching up. It's like the palm of the hand lifts you from the center chest towards the ceiling. If this right hand holds above the ankle, have it hold on so that the front chest broadens. Then lift with that left arm, come up. Turn your feet forward, pause, release the shoulders, but widen through the arms. Turn to the second side. So right heel down, mound of the left big toe down, lift the chest. Exhale and lengthen out over the left leg. Hold either above the ankle or put the heel of your hand on a brick or even the fingertips, right? If you need even something higher to keep this leg straight, that's fine. Okay? Press the right heel so the right thigh moves back. Press the mound of that left big toe so the outer left hip hugs beneath you. And now pull up with the palm of the right hand so the front chest really broadens. Then inhale, lift from that right arm, come up, turn your feet forward. And exhale, jump, Tadasana. All right, I think I'm warm enough to shed the sweater. Utthita Parsvakonasana. So now we're going to jump again. Inhale, jump. Take that width so the feet are under your hands, heels down. Feel how the legs change when you press your heels down. And be aware, when you press into your heels, watch, when the legs are wide like that, we tend to press into this inner portion of our heels only. Instead, I want you to think about there being sort of a little horseshoe around the back rim of your heel, so that when you press the heels, not only this inner heel bears weight, but the outer heel bears weight as well, equally. Do that again. So when you bear weight on the heels, think about that. Where's your weight? For most of us, it's in the inner heel. So can you shift and get into even the outer heel? Not only, but also, right? Feel how that changes the quality in your legs. The kneecaps lift a little bit more evenly. The buttock descends a little more evenly. Then go to the first side. Turn your legs to the right. Left heel down, lift the chest. Take a breath, and with your exhale, bend that right leg. Bring the right hand down, fingertips to the floor, or put that brick under your hand. Now press the left heel, press the right heel, and roll that right knee into your right arm. Feel how it hugs that right hip beneath you. Now, relax your abdomen so that the buttock can still flow towards that left foot. Relax the abdomen so that this left palm pulling upward affects not just your chest, but sort of this portion of your lower ribs. That area will also start to lift towards that left hand. Inhale, lift from your left arm, come up, turn the feet forward. Change sides. Exhale, bend the left leg, bring the left hand down, right arm up. Press the back right heel, press the left knee into your left arm. Feel how the two legs work not separately, but together to gain strength. So that the abdomen, there's less required then of the abdomen. It can relax. So that as you pull that right arm up, the chest follows, and these lower ribs even follow somewhat towards that lift there in the right arm. Inhale, lift from the right arm, come to standing. And exhale, jump. Tadasana. Now, I want to back up just a little bit today, and we're going to do triangle pose again. Now, this time, I'm asking you to have bricks for sure. Okay, even if it feels like you don't need them, I want you to have them. If you don't have bricks, just find something around your house that are kind of that height. That's fine. A chair even will work. Okay. So be in Tadasana. Heels down. Abdomen relaxed. That doesn't mean it's turned off. But this idea of gripping your abdomen is incorrect. There's a lift that comes, but it comes with time, and it comes from working properly in your legs and your feet. So pay attention to that heel bone down, inner and outer evenly, toes, feet, forward and down. Then, inhale, jump. Turn to your right, straighten both legs. Now when you press the left heel, mound of the right big toe, feel how that left arm pulls and your chest looks forward, right? Take a breath and exhale, come out over the right leg, bring your hand onto the tall brick, put your fingertips on that brick, left hand to your left waist. Now with the left heel down, feel how that helps you take this thigh back. So heel down, top thigh back. Mound of the right big toe pressing down. So the two legs are firm. The buttock flows downward, and your frontal hip points, they actually flow in the direction of your chest. Now press that back heel, roll the left shoulder back, and feel how the chest flows upward. But the abdomen, because it's relaxed, there's sort of this flow of the lower ribs and the abdomen towards the ceiling. It is directly related to how well you push that left heel down. So the whole heel presses down, even that outer rim of your left heel. Keep the mound of the big toe down and exhale. Use your legs so that you'll have a sense that the tailbone hugs in. And then that upper body can turn. Then charge your left arm up. Inhale, lift from that left arm, come to standing. Okay. Turn your feet forward. Change sides. Right heel down so the chest turns forward. Now, exhale out over that left leg. Grab the brick, fingertips on the brick. Even though it's really high for some of you, that's fine. Push down into the right heel so the buttock flows deeply down. That helps take the effort and the grip out of your lower back. Keep that right thigh back, right heel down. Press into the mound of the left big toe so that both outer hips start to firm, and you'll get a sense that your frontal hip points here lift towards the chest. And it really can give a sense of your tailbone. Really think of where the tailbone is, the base of the spine. It hugs into the body. It's under you then. Now, press the back right heel, roll the right shoulder back towards the right elbow. And as you press the left hand, feel how the chest starts to flow to the right. Your front ribs, even the abdomen, has a flow towards the ceiling. Don't crank your neck or your head, or don't get any idea that you need to look up. Just feel how this happens, first from the lower abdomen, then also from the chest. Then charge the right arm up, press the right heel down, inhale, come to standing. Turn the feet forward, take a breath in with your exhale, jump. So hopefully that illustrates how when building one of the poses, starting with Trikonasana, the effort really happens in the feet and legs, and then the rest of the body benefits. So it's not like sometimes those actions that happen above happen from above. They happen from below, from how you work your feet and your legs. Uddita Parsvakonasana. Jump. Turn your legs to the right. You can use those bricks or not. Just getting them out of the way. Bend the right leg, bring the right hand down. Left hand to the left waist now. Let's do that in a similar way. Press the right knee into the right arm, but now exhale and reach into that left heel, even that outer rim of the left heel. Abdomen relaxed. Roll the left shoulder towards the left elbow, so you get this turn in your upper body. And now pull that left arm straight up. Keep standing in your heel bones, so you can attain or so you can build the turn in the trunk of the body. Then turn that left arm and pull up again. Exhale, press the left heel, and slowly reach the left arm away from the left heel. Try and make one long straight line there. Remember, right knee into right arm. Then inhale, lift from the left arm, come up. Turn your feet forward. Change sides. So press the right heel. So I really want to make that clear how things come from your feet and legs. Otherwise, the poses become exhausting. If you use the feet and legs, they're powerful, and the poses become more invigorating. Bend the left leg, feel the heel bone. Left hand down, right arm up, but then bring your right hand to your waist. Left knee into your left arm. Now right heel bone down, and feel the pelvis almost lifts up on top of the tailbone. It's under you now. Roll the right shoulder back towards the right elbow and start that turn of the chest, the whole trunk towards the right or the ceiling. Reach the right arm up, pull way up, turn the palm, lift up again. Now press into your right outer heel especially, and reach that arm away from the right foot. Try and make one long line. Stand on the two heels, breathe. Then inhale, lift from that right arm, come up. Turn your feet forward. Take a breath and jump. Tadasana. Okay, move the bricks aside. We're taking Virabhadrasana 1. Nothing new here. Stand in Tadasana. Inhale, jump. Feet under your hands so you have proper space. Bring your hands to your waist. Roll the shoulders back and down. Now, turn your left foot in, turn the right leg out. Turn your chest to face the right, but now bend the right leg and pivot on the mound of the left foot. Try not to make your stance way shorter there, right? Pivot, then as you straighten both legs, get that outer right heel to come down again. Now you really do need to keep that outer heel pressurized. And when you do, you see how the thigh wants to press back. That's okay. Keep that outer heel pressurized so that the knee is straight. Turn your chest to face the right leg, mound the right big toe down. Now, as I turn the chest, you see how the leg follows. Keep your inner upper left knee squeezed to straight. Keep that outer heel down, which keeps the buttock out of the low back. So if you start to get that crimp in your low back, that means outer heel has to work harder, right? Turn the chest, roll the shoulders back towards the elbows. Now, press that back outer heel. There's a ricochet effect up that back leg that takes your tailbone beneath you, helps the frontal hips to lift up towards the chest. Then again, you have to work to turn the chest to face the right, mound of the right big toe down, so that your outer right hip hugs in. It'll help you turn. The back heel pressing should make my chest move forward and up at that diagonal. Breathe. Then the front leg, turn back to center. Get your distance. Second side. Right foot in, left leg out. Bend the left leg, lean over. Arms can even go wide if it helps you get your balance. Pivot on that back foot. So when the leg straightens, the outer right heel goes down. Really press it so the inner knee lifts to straight. Buttock down now. Catch that here so the front hip bones lift and the low back is neutral. It's fine. It should not be painful there. Now lift into your chest and start to turn the chest to the left. That left leg will follow some. Mound of the left big toe down will help, because then the outer left hip is in and it forms kind of a pivot point. Back heel down, roll the shoulders back and turn so that when that back heel presses, the whole inner leg responds. The tailbone's in and the chest lifts forward and up. Be there and breathe for a few moments. Feel how you can work to strengthen that back leg outer hip to lift your chest more, so that even the side ribs are lengthened. Then turn back to center. Fingertips together, jump. Tadasana for a moment. Find your heels. Shoulders away from the ears. So now even as you work there in Tadasana, just watch for a moment. I'm going to turn around. You know, I mentioned the tailbone in a few of those standing poses, so I'll talk about that for a minute. Your tailbone sits at about the mid buttock, right? Right in there is my tailbone. If I were to just stand in Tadasana, I'd be forward in my feet. You can see my buttock kind of goes back. I'm hanging in my low back. But when I shift and get the weight into my heels, the buttock moves down. And not only that, if you watch from behind, not in my heels, now watch, heels, the buttock descends, and very naturally, this mid-buttock firms beneath me. I'm not gripping my buttock. I'm not thinking, oh, hey, Carmen, grip your buttock. No, it's not an action. It's a reaction, okay? So it's a reaction, what my body just has to do to get my heels down. The buttock descends, and this mid-buttock region firms beneath me. So when that happens, there's more reactions, right? When that happens and the front of my foot reaches forward, my kneecaps lift. And when the toes reach forward and come down, this part of my upper thigh, right, it kind of opens and firms. So it's a stop gait, right? I'm not just going to take my hips forward forever. But as my top foot, my upper foot comes down, this stays stable. So the buttock is down, knees are up, tailbone's in, but front thighs are back. And then I'm stable at the center. It's like holding, I always talk about a Gerber daisy. You know, Gerber daisies have that really straight stem. It's like holding a Gerber daisy with that really straight stem. The legs firm, the tailbone's in, and then the chest is just free and open. So keep that in mind as we do Vera 1 again. Ready? Inhale, jump. Get your distance, hands to the waist, turn to the right. Press that outer left heel and feel when you do, the inner left ankle, the inner leg pulls up. Then turn the chest, keep that back heel, turn the chest, shoulders back, heel down, outer right hip firms in thanks to the mound of the big toe, but the chest has to keep turning. There's constant effort here in the upper body to seek that freedom that is allowed thanks to the use of the strength in your legs. So now, lift the chest, make that back leg firm. Come back to center, second side. Outer heel down, inner ankle lifts, so there's a buoyancy in the inner leg. Turn, mound of the left big toe down so that outer left hip is in. Now, outer heel, tailbone in. Turn the chest and lift, center chest. And breathe. Strong legs, free spine, broad front chest. And come back to center. Exhale, jump. Tadasana. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Inhale, jump, feet under the hands. Now this pose is the pose that requires the most of the legs to keep the upward lift of the spine and the chest. Turn your feet to the right. So it's just good to know that going in, right? Press the left heel so you feel that left thigh back before you go anywhere. Chest lifts. Then bend the right knee and catch the weight in your right heel. Now with the weight in the right heel, roll the right knee back. Now you can feel you have to turn your chest left, right? Keep that right knee rolling back. Press the left heel down, turn the chest forward, which means it has to flow towards the left a little. Stand in the 2 heel bones and feel you can start to get that firmness in the outer hips and the mid buttock. So you're supported then from the base. Your low back should be long and the chest should lift. Shoulders away from the ears, then pull with that left arm, lift through the right knee, straighten the leg. Turn forward, heels. Go to the second side. Now, be aware of that right heel. You feel you're on the inner heel, right? Now, press the whole right heel bone down, even that outer heel, to get the thigh back. Take a breath and exhale. Bend your left knee, get weight in the heel. Now again, it'll be in the inner heel. Roll the knee back and you'll feel you can get more in your outer left heel. Maintain it. Outer right heel. Feel how the chest can turn forward. The mid buttock comes beneath you a little more and you can lift the front chest, front spine goes up. Pull from the right arm, straighten the left leg. Turn your feet forward. Fingertips come together, and with your exhale, jump, Tadasana. So just take a moment there. We're doing that one more time. Jump. Exactly the same way, just to catch the work. A second time. Heels, turn to the right. Now when you press that left heel, feel your inner ankle on the left has a bit of a boost, a bit of a lift, and it helps support the whole inner leg. It helps keep that outer heel down. Take a breath. Bend both heels. Press them. Roll the right knee back. Press the left heel down. Turn the chest forward. Breathe. Pull from your left arm. Straighten the leg. Change sides. Outer right heel. Now feel that buoyancy of your inner right leg, even the inner ankle. It's like it lifts a little. Bend. Weight in the heel. Now left knee back. Outer right heel. Work to press it down, and then you're upright. Broaden the chest, and then pull from the right arm. Come to standing. Turn the feet forward, and exhale. Jump. Now, at this point, frequently the low back feels that work. That's normal. Put your hands on a table, a windowsill. I hold my ropes, as you know if you've been doing these videos. Walk your feet back, feet on the same surface. Have your feet under your hips, but when you pull the outer hip, outer groin, this region back, your hips will go just a little beyond your heels. That's fine. And then look down at your feet, heels down, reach the inner foot, outer foot forward, and spread the foot and toes on the ground. And see that your kneecaps lift up. And hopefully now you can feel that your low back gets a lot of length and relief. You'll get more and more relief as you press into your heel bones, inner and outer. Allow the abdomen to relax now. Your jaw and your neck and your tongue as well. Keep the lift of your kneecaps. Keep the lift in your legs. Keep even the spreading and the pressing into the mound of the foot also. Breathe. Feel how there's a recovery that can happen here. Then inhale, walk forward, come up. Come back to standing Tadasana. We have 2 more standing poses, but we're adding on to them a little bit today now. Parsvottanasana, the next one is what we've practiced in the past, so stand in Tadasana. Inhale, jump. Now, this pose, it's not quite as wide as the last couple, right? You have a little bit more of a little bit smaller stance. Hands to your waist. We're going to turn the legs to your right. So left foot turns in, right leg turns out, just like Virabhadrasana 1. Bend forward a little, pivot on the mound of that left foot. And bring the heel down, just like Virabhadrasana 1, right? Outer heels down. Chest turns to the right, mound of the right, big toe down. So now both outer hips hug to the midline. The more you press that back heel, the more the tailbone moves in. Roll the shoulders back, press that back heel, and feel how the chest moves forward and up. Breathe and just enjoy that space there, neck soft. Come back to center and go to the second side. So that each time you practice that, right, outer right heel down, inner knee lifts, turn. Mound of the left big toe down so both outer hips are firm. Each time you practice that, feel how more and more you catch that rhythm of the outer right heel down, tailbone in, buttock down, chest turning. So it kind of gives you a sensation of your sternum lifting as if someone's pressing the back surface of the sternum bone to go forward and up. Come back to center. Okay. Now we're going straight into Prasarita Padottanasana. Now, this one's a little more narrow. Prasarita Padottanasana is not only wide, it's a little wider than Vira 1. It's your widest standing pose. So now once you're there, hands to the waist, you can see as I begin, my feet are actually turned just a little out. That's okay. Get your heels down, knees lifted, buttock down. Roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. Very similar to how you just did in Parsvottanasana. Lift, lift, lift. Heels stay down. Come halfway down. Heels down. Bring the spine parallel to the ground, but shoulders roll back, elbows lifting up. Now heels down, inhale, come up. Keeping your heels down protects your lower back, right? Otherwise you'll feel kind of a grip in your low back. You don't want that. You want the tailbone in. We're doing it again. You know this pose. We've done it in the other classes. Inhale, big lift, like you want your sternum like it's going to get parallel to the ceiling, really big lift, and then exhale, heels down, heels down, heels down, halfway down, heels down, inhale, up you come. Now we're adding on this time, and you can watch me first if you want, and then just do it with me. So same thing, you get all that lift, heels down, and then as you come forward, heels down, heels down, heels down, heels down, you get halfway, hands down. So now, when you get your hands to the floor, you're more stable. So let's do that all together now, in case you didn't do it with me, because I did tell you to watch, right? Heels down, buttock down. Feel how the outer hip firms. Now, lengthen through the side body, shoulders back, chest up, heels down. The hips will come forward a little, that's fine. Inhale. Now exhale, come forward. Heels down, heels down. Still, this is broad. Heels down, heels down, heels down. Hands down. Now, feel how you can look at your feet, look at them, turn straight forward. So the inner foot, outer foot both reaches forward. And now, rock forward and bear weight in the mounds of your foot. So when you do that, I'm just going to turn real quick so you can see. So if I come down with my heels down, I'm here. But when I rock forward, the back thigh spreads. It gives my side ribs opportunity to roll forward like my chest goes beyond my arms. That's all correct, but you'll notice that your heels get light. And if you look at my body, you'll see my tailbone is lifted. It's out of my body. It's not placed. So then, heels down, you add it in. But you keep what you built with the side body forward, but the heels are down. Now get those heels down, hands to your waist, heels down, inhale, come up. Then heel toe, step, or jump back to Tadasana. Okay? So it's an important transitional pose. It's an important piece of how you lift up and come down. I know a lot of people, when they start a yoga practice, a lot of times they start with these things called Surya Namaskaras. And people who are beginning yoga, before they understand how to work with their feet, they tend to hurt their back in Surya Namaskaras if this is not understood first. So we're going to do this again. One more time, okay? Inhale, jump. Because once you begin to build that freedom, and that freedom comes from understanding how to work with your legs in connection with your pelvis. And once you have that, it opens up a lot of other poses for your practice. So heels down, knees up. Think of your inner ankles lifting, and more your outer hips will firm. Then roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, get all this length in the front body. Now heels down, start to come forward. Heels down, keep the chest broad. Heels down, get parallel with the floor. Heels down, fingertips down. Now you have freedom. Now you have the ability, rock forward, turn the upper arms out, chest pulls forward. It's like I'm trying to swing my chest forward to the camera, right? And that's good. It's not a complete action, but you're catching something in the work. You're teaching the prana, the energy, how to move in your body. So keep the chest forward. Now exhale and heels down. Shift the weight into your heels. Get them down. You'll feel the abdomen lifts, your low back will get some space. Now heels down, hands to your waist, heels down, inhale, come up. Okay? Now heel toe, step your feet together for just a moment. Tadasana. Now if you have blankets, I recommend you get a couple out. One of them is just to put on your mat, just for cushion. We've done this. Vajrasana, the other one for behind your knees. Now I'm going to turn this so you can see me. You put that first blanket down on your mat. Kneel on it, feet together, ankles together. Put that other blanket behind your knees. So come onto your head so the back of your knees relaxes. Get that blanket in there deeply. And sit back. When you do, outer ankles firm in. Spread across the mounds of your foot. If it's too much, you roll a blanket up. Right? If it's too much on your ankles, I don't remember if I've showed you guys this in this series or not. I have a video on this. But if it's too much, you roll a blanket up. You stick it there under your ankles. And you still have a blanket behind your knees. So you just add in a blanket, in other words. But this is one way to do this pose if it kills your ankles doing it the other way. That's not to say you shouldn't try and get rid of this blanket under your ankles, because you want to stretch that area, but you also don't want to torture yourself, right? Now, once you're here, the buttock bones need to come right at the center over your heel bones, okay? So lift your hips a little, get the outer hips down, and start to find that balancing act. Not way forward, not way back, but right at the center. So there's a subtlety that's involved, an awareness that's involved. Shoulders away from the ears. Now, palms together. We did this earlier. Interlock your fingers. It's called Parvatasana now. Palms forward, so the upper shoulder blades are broad. Pin the upper arms. And inhale. Come on up. Lift up out of the waist. Keep the neck relaxed. The jaw relaxed, and work at getting long. It's not that the arms go back. The arms go up. So sometimes you'll be here and it'll feel like you can't get overhead. The story is you pull up until you can. And it starts to teach all those little intercostal muscles here between your ribs to open and stretch. And that also affects how you breathe over time. Take the arms down, change the crossing of your fingers, second side. Balance equally on those two buttock bones, and you'll feel that as a response, the abdomen moves in and up. And it's not that the abdomen hardens or grips. It's a tone that comes from deep, deep inside that teaches the body how to be strong. Now bring the arms forward and down. Keep the legs there. Bring your hands forward, but the buttock bones, keep them down. So now lengthen in the side body, and you're going to begin to come forward. Take your time. The low back may feel like it's sort of ungripping or undoing, and so you just take the time and allow that. Lengthen the side ribs. Palms down. Lengthen inner groins relaxed. Slowly, gently. Lengthen. You come down as much as you comfortably can. Now, you don't want your head hanging like this. So if it feels like you're a good ways away from the floor still, just put a block there so your head can rest. And what you may find is after a little bit of time, I have to get rid of this blanket. You may find that after a little bit of time, your head will come down a little more. Don't force it. So in other words, don't force your practice. Approach your practice with a sense of curiosity and exploration. And if you do that, then you'll find that the next day your practice will welcome you back much more happily. Right? And then you'll have some transformation. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Inhale and come on up. Set those props aside. We're going to take Dandasana, which is called staff pose, which is just sitting upright. Dandasana is to our seated poses what Tadasana, mountain pose, is to our standing poses. So push the buttock to your heels initially. You can even roll the flesh of the buttock to the heels a bit. Then spread the mounds of the foot. The kneecaps can lift. The back thigh broadens. And now you look for that uprightedness on your 2 buttock bones again. And you be really specific about it. Don't be in a hurry. Think about it. Are you way back? If you are, you might need a blanket under your buttock. If you're way forward, well, then you don't need a blanket. You need some awareness to get up on top of those buttock bones. Keep the mounds of the foot spreading, hands at your sides, roll the shoulders back, and lift the chest. And it's a strong pose because there's a strong lift in the trunk of the body once the legs understand how to work. So just like those standing poses, learning how to make the legs strong gives freedom in the spine. Okay. Now from here, we're going to lie on our backs. So bend your knees, lie back, push the heels away a little bit so that you get that length in your low back again. Take your hands to the sides of your mat, turn your upper arms out. Then hands can just rest at your sides. Push one heel forward, right at the middle of your mat, then push, go slow. Because I want your low back to stay close to the ground. So it might not stay right on the ground, but it should stay close. Push your heels away. So you see, I'm not letting my front ribs just spring up. I want to stay close. Heels away. Then spread the mounds of the foot. So it's like lying down Tadasana. Now, hug the right leg in towards you. Keep the left heel pushing away. Mound of the left foot spreading. Then change sides. Put right foot down, then bend your left leg, low back long. Right foot presses away, get nice and long, really push away. And then hug your left leg in. Mounds of the right foot press and spread away. So we're going to do that one more time. Bend both legs, left foot presses away. Now, if you recall, back in the previous sequences we've done, right, there's a pose where we take our legs up the wall, both of them. And I always say you push your heels up, the tailbone flows towards your foot, right? So that's what's happening now. And when the legs are up the wall, I say you spread the mounds of the foot so that the mounds of the foot are slightly higher than your heel. Same thing here. My heel pushes away, but then when the mound of the foot spreads and presses away, they press slightly further than my heel. I hope that makes sense. Hug your right leg in. Maintain the left. And then change sides. Heel. Push, push, push. Mound of the foot. Push, push, push. Keep the right leg steady as you hug your left leg in. And then release and hug both legs in. Shin bones. Pull straight down. Relax the groins. Should help your low back come to the floor and kind of spread out and give any kind of relief there that is needed at this point. All right, roll yourself onto the side, come up. I'm sorry, I didn't have you grab this initially. Please get a strap. Make a loop in your strap. And when you do, you have it kind of a big loop, okay? So that, you go right back to where we left off, right? Hug your knees in. So that instead now, today, this is sort of a move forward, right? Today, instead of going to the wall and taking our legs up the wall, you're going to take this strap, hold the strap. So you're holding it in a big circle, you see? Then I put both edges of the straps around my feet. Now I have handles. And then right above the heels. And then I can push the heels to the ceiling and work to get my legs at a 90-degree angle from the floor. Same thing as legs up the wall, right? But now we're evolving into more of the full pose. So I push through the heels, the tailbone flows in the direction of the heels. It makes my low back nice and long. It allows my abdomen to fall back towards my spine. The abdomen does not grip here. Not the outer abdomen. It's really, really deep. Then I spread the mounds of the foot, and mounds of the foot press towards the ceiling, and they ascend a little higher than the heels. Now, when you do that, feel how that firms the whole outer border of each leg all the way up to your outer hip, or I would call this the outer groin. So the heels pushing doesn't do that really. The heels pushing lets the tailbone roll to the heels. It lets the low back relax. But it doesn't do anything for your outer legs or your outer hips. But observe how when you press through the mounds of the foot, you can find that, particularly as you spread the mounds of the foot. The kneecaps are lifted, so this upper portion of your kneecap is strong into the front thighs. You can bend your elbows a little so your shoulder blades are away from your ears. Relax. Keep the legs at that 90-degree angle, even if your legs are loose and you can pull them in. That's not the point here. The point is the strength of the legs so that your spine gets a sense of evolving, right? So that the abdominal region evolves. If you're quite stable there and you feel like, I can keep my feet there, well, then you could release your hands and bring them there to your sides, even turn the arms out. Keep your legs. If it feels like it's too much or your legs fall away from you, you hold on. If it feels like your hamstrings are too tight and you can't quite bring them to a 90-degree and you're out here, that's okay. That is how it starts sometimes. Eventually, you do need to get to 90-degree. How? By practicing this work. And this will start to get you there, and stretching your hamstrings, that will get you there in time. Okay? So now, regardless of where you are, bend your knees and hug them in. Turn yourself onto the right-hand side. Come up. Now, from there, get one brick. We did this last time. We're taking Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. The brick, as you put it under your body, is going to be on the lowest height and on the widest width. Okay? I'll do it with you. If you need to watch, you can watch and then continue. But you lie on your back. First and foremost, heels push away from you so the low back's long. Abdomen's relaxed. Hands at your sides, hold the mat and turn the upper arms out so your chest is lifted. Then, feet hips distance, push your heels down so when you lift your hips, it's like you're lifting from your tailbone to the ceiling. Put that brick under the pelvis and lengthen the buttock back down and onto the brick. Now, it should cover your tailbone. It's not in your low back, it really is on your pelvis. Then hands at your sides, turn the upper arms out, lift the chest. And feel how, the pelvis just rests there. The abdomen really surrenders, but the chest really lifts. Think of those standing poses that we did, and we got the sternum to lift. Activate there and get the chest to lift more. Use the arms to do that. So it feels like your sternum's moving towards your chin. Feel how it helps the musculature on the sides of your spine grip and hug to help that center chest lift. Breathe into the side ribs. So notice how the abdomen likes to lift and fall as you breathe. Can you steer the breath a little differently? So that instead the side ribs expand out and contract back to the middle with your exhale. And as you build that expansion in the side body, you can even maintain a large portion of it even as you exhale and the abdomen relaxes. Now, to come down, push the heels, lift from your tailbone and the pelvis lifts up. Remove the brick, set it aside. Lengthen the buttock away and lower down from top to bottom. Set all the way down. Then roll onto your side. Come up. You hopefully have that brick nearby. Now we're going to sit in swastikasana again, this time on the ground. Put the brick up here in front of you. Turn it on high, and you might even have a couple. It depends on the person. Some people need a couple of bricks, and they want to stack them up like that. That's fine. Buttock flows away from you. Lift the chest, and then slowly, keeping the outer groins down, begin to come forward. And your hands can come forward. And let your forehead come to rest on those bricks. As high or as low as you need them. But consider, we're resting our head here to release the lower back, not so much to just stretch the heck out of your hips. And I know that can feel good for some of you, so, take your time. You can come in a little bit deeper if you like. And we're not there for that long. So come on up. Change the crossing of your legs. And then come into the second side. You still want your side ribs rolling forward and the head releasing down, not just an effort to put your head on the ground. The hips will still stretch, don't worry. Then hands under your shoulders. Inhale and come up. So we're going to set up for the next to last asana, the next to last pose in our sequence today. It's called Viparita Karani. So this is something we're adding in. Now for this, I want you to get rid of your mat, and you're going to get either a chair, like a metal chair works really well, a yoga chair, but if you don't have that, just any old chair, a dining room table chair or something, or even a big chair in your living room, or a sofa, or a coffee table, all works. And if you have a bolster, get a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, get 2 blankets and fold them in half like that. Right, so they usually are folded, so they're in a square like this. You fold it in half. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a whole video about how to fold blankets, so you can look at that. Okay, so this equals a bolster, or you get a bolster and a chair. Now I have my metal chair here. I'm going to put a blanket on it simply because it's cold. Okay, and now a bolster. Now, with my particular bolster, it has a little handle here on the end. Some of them have it, some of them don't. I like the ones that do for this particular reason, because sometimes you need to do this in other poses too. I have that little handle. I'm just setting it here next to my chair. I'll kind of scooch over so you can see. I'm all on the wooden floor. Even if you're on a carpeted floor, it's better without your mat. But I just set that there next to me. Then I lie down and put my calves up onto the chair. Now when I do that, I don't just, put them up there any old way. I put them on the chair so the back of my knee is right on that front edge of the chair. That's weirdly important. It helps your legs relax in a different way. I lie back. Then I take this bolster, I grab the handle, and I lift my hips up. I have to lift them quite a bit. Oh, get that under me, right? Then, so now my hips are on the bolster, but it's not quite right yet. Because you see how my front ribs can fall. Ugh. I want to pull that bolster under me so it hits my thick back ribs just a little bit lower than my middle upper back. And I would say your middle upper back is where a bra strap would hit. So guys, you can figure that out yourself. Ladies, that should be an easy spot. So you're going to press your shins down, pull that bolster right into those thick back ribs under your middle back. The hips set down. The buttock is a little free, but it should feel really comfortable. Give it a second if it doesn't. You can always push it down a little to support your back if needed. And the abdomen, you see here are my frontal hip bones. Here are my frontal ribs, and all this abdominal region here in between surrenders. And it just forms this nice, deep sling. And I let my arms come out to the sides, shoulder blades walk down my back. Position your head so the back of the head flows away from you, the back of the neck is long, and you close your eyes so that with the eyes closed, it's like your gaze or your consciousness flows downward and looks inside of the lifted chest that's lifting towards your head. And there's sort of this communion of awareness that comes into this upper chest head region where everything kind of becomes centered and quiet. Again, look to steer your breath into your side ribs. So if you haven't already, go ahead and come on into this pose. Don't forget, once you get here, to turn the upper arm bones out and then let the arms rest at your sides. The arms should not go overhead. So this is not appropriate. It doesn't work the same way. Your chest will lose its lift. Arms just below the shoulders, but out to the sides. Neck, jaw, tongue, soft. The root of the tongue can even surrender way back in the back of your mouth. Feel how that affects the jaw and the tongue as it descends down the throat. And the throat itself, which is a little different than your neck. The neck is the musculature there on the sides. The throat's more in the front, down to that sort of hollow there at the base of your neck, right? The base of the throat, really. That should all surrender and be soft and hollow. Feel how the legs are effortless, the femur bone hangs, and the frontal and inner groins soften and let go. So this is the beginning position for Viparita Karani, which does develop into kind of a different shape over time. But working this way will teach you the correct energetics, the correct flow of prana, so that as you advance in the pose, you advance with understanding. And that's really important. Feel how the inhale can spread into the side ribs and lift all the way beneath the collarbones. And that spaciousness that is created remains even as the exhale comes. Slow, smooth, steady breath. Feel that even your calves and your ankles have support there. And then we're going to transition out of this pose and directly into Shavasana, final resting pose, okay? So listen, if you get confused by what I say, of course you'll be able to see. But you're going to, without really jerking your body around too much, take first your elbows to that bolster, lift your hips a little, and you push it towards your chair. And slowly your hips slide off the bolster and onto the ground. And the bolster, it'll have to angle a little bit when it hits your chair, right, just so there's room. Then rest here with your hips on the ground. Take several breaths there so you feel that the low back is spreading against the floor. And again, without any effort, the low back should be able to come down to the ground. Now, from there, you can just gently push your chair away a little bit and then slip your legs under your chair, but over the bolster. So the bolster will end up behind your thighs. And then the legs just rest there with the thighs supported. Allowing the pelvis to be a little bit more upright in relationship to your spine. And allowing the low back to rest on the ground, primarily. Don't worry if it's not perfectly on the ground. It probably won't be. But it should be a full rest now, no effort. But really the effort comes in letting yourself just be for a little while. Arms at the sides, observing the body, surrendering and letting go. For Shavasana, final resting pose. Shavasana literally translates as corpse pose. So, in essence, one of the things that yoga teaches, not just asana, asana helps you embody these ideas, but one of the lessons in yoga is learning how to surrender. And I mean completely surrender. And what is the most complete surrender but the ultimate surrender of death and dying and letting go? So that means for just a few moments, be willing to let go of everything in your world, just for a few moments, just to give the brain and the nervous system a break. And focus just on that letting go. The freedom in surrender. Or even the freedom in giving over everything that we try and control so hard in our daily life. The effort here is letting go of effort. Bring the hands to the frontal body, anywhere there on the front body that gives you peace. Feel again how the breath spreads wide into the side body. And then bend your knees and roll over, preferably on the right hand side if that's available. Turn to the side, press the floor away, and then come on back up to sitting. So that's all for today. Hope to see you next time. If you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you back here soon. Namaste.